the reason that Susan stopped stabbing is because she hears a little knock on the door.
Got it.
Bradley is asking if everything's, are you okay? Now Jeff is already, but Susan wasn't convinced. So she hid the knife. She wiped the blood off herself. She walked Bradley back to the bed. She tucked him in. She said, everything's fine. But in the back of her head, she's like, what if he's alive? Like, what if he's alive?
Yeah.
What if he's going to get up? So as soon as the kids are back tucked in, she goes back to the kitchen. She grabs a brand new knife. She goes back to the bedroom and stabs him several more times.
That part's kind of wild.
So this comes to a grand total of 193 wounds. And this is why I opened this.
I didn't expect this part.
Because this case is complicated and you now understand why trial is going to be probably the biggest part of this case, because you do have a woman who was threatened, who probably did feel like she was fighting for her life. I mean,
for sure.
But is this self-defense? Is 193 wounds? Can you argue self-defense in court?
Does it matter if it's a mix between self-defense and also being angry? You know what I'm saying?
I just think that's up to the jury.
I know it's up to the jury. Okay, let's hear what they say.
So Susan is done now, and she's like, oh,
what do I do?
Now what? So she brings the dolly into the bedroom. She pushes Jeff off the bed and onto the cart, and she wheels him into the backyard. Conveniently, Jeff had dug his own grave just a few months earlier. There was a hole in the backyard that he had dug because he was planning to install a fountain. So Susan dragged him off the dolly, put him in the hole, and then covered it with dirt. She said even at this point, she was worried that Jeff wasn't. And I think that this is coming from her lawyer trying to argue the amount of fear she had and how that proves that this is self-defense.